This is a 1967 Ford Mustang with 77,846 miles on the odometer. Powered by a 6-cylinder. It's believed to be original 6-cylinder automatic transmission. Pretty plain and simple little Mustang, done in that dark red, almost maroon color. Very pretty car. The best thing about this little 67 Mustang is it runs and drives excellent down the road and just has a great look. It's got its factory Mustang wire wheel hubcaps. Tires are in good shape all the way around. This is a local car, came out of Mason City, Iowa here. Previous owner jumped in and drove it basically anywhere. I mean, this is a great driver. When we got it in, we just went ahead and put a new gas tank sender in it, made sure the gas gauge works. I think the only thing that pretty much don't work is the radio on it. It's got the original AM radio as well. So just a fantastic little cruiser, 6-cylinder automatic. As we look here underneath the hood, somebody at one point, years and years ago, did undercoat the inner fenders and stuff here. So that's undercoated in black. And motor seems to run real good. We did put a new valve cover gasket on it. The valve cover leaked when we got it, so we replaced that. As far as our body lines on the hood here, it lines up beautiful front to back. Nice even gap there. Same thing on the passenger side. Just a nice gap, lines up across the hood nicely. We do have a couple little scratches here in the hood. I don't know if you can see that. Just thin ones, but there are there. Paint's older. I'm guessing it was probably painted in the 90s. Still has a great look and a good finish though. Front bumper looks great. It's got the bumper guards. Front bumper is really nice. Horse and corral look okay. They look original. The grill has a few little chips in the gray on the bottom part of the grill, but all in all, just a fantastic looking original front end on this car. As we look up and down the sides, paint has a beautiful shine. Nice straight body on it. The body line on the front fender matches the body line on the door. It matches the quarter really nicely. We'll get a little closer to that and go around that, but from down the sides it looks nice. As we look at the front fender here, we got a couple tiny, this is a very tiny little scratch there. We're kind of looking for blisters and big blemishes, and I don't see anything on this front fender. The Mustang emblems look nice. The rocker molding is older but looks good. It's got the decor package with the wheel well trim, rocker molding. As we look at the bottom of the door, front and back, bottom of the door looks great. We have one small little blister above my fingernail there. Other than that, that's the only blister on the door. It does have the dual sport mirrors. Original chrome on the door handle. We have a little pitting, but it still shines well. This is what I'm talking about. Really, the gap, the line up here on the door is not bad at all against the quarter panel. Just a little off here, I guess it's just a little down, but it lines up nicely on the front fender. In front of the rear quarter, there's no blisters there. It does have some orange peel on the paint. Looks to me like they wet sanded and buffed from the body line up. They left the lower part and didn't wet sand and buff that as well. So no blisters behind the quarter or over top of that wheel well. So very nice solid exterior quarters here. Real nice here where like a vinyl top would have been if it would have had one. There's no cracks there or anything. The roof is in great shape. Paint's nice on the roof as well. Like I said, the paint has a great shine to it. Just a good looking car. Obviously it's single exhaust. As we come around here to the back end of the car's original trim looks real good. Back bumpers has a beautiful shine. That looks nice. The Ford Mustang emblem here in the gas thing is around that plastic lens is cracked a little bit. And we do have some marks here on this trunk lid chrome and some pits here on the taillight stuff. Taillights look nice, but the chrome around them do have some pits. So original stuff looks great for original. If a guy wants to take it to the next level, that stuff's awful inexpensive. I don't know if you can hear, you can barely hear the car run. It seems to run excellent. Exhaust sounds good. As we look at the door jambs, the paint in the door jambs is okay. It's all covered well. It doesn't shine quite as nice as the exterior paint. And one thing that's kind of halfway done here is that these scoops have 4 little screw holes in them. You know, you got to look close to see them right on top of them, but they're not supposed to be those kind of screws there. So just want to point that out. As we look at the quarter where it meets here, all nice and solid there. Rocker panel all looks good. As we look up in here, it's all maroon. Everything's done. As we look in our corner of the door is perfect. Door panel, armrest, that's all good shape. Dash pad looks good. The dash itself looks real nice, except for around the speedometer and gas gauge and stuff. That chrome piece there is kind of tarnished, kind of turning yellow a little bit around there. Steering wheel looks beautiful. Steering column looks nice. Like I said, this is just a really nice presentation of a 77,800 mile car. Interior looks original to me. Carpet, I'm positive it's the original carpet. You can see where it's worn on that center hump through there. Somebody at one time appears maybe they had a console there, or that got a lot of sun. That part is worn along that center part of that hump. Other than that, the carpet's original and real presentable. Back seat is excellent. Back shelf is nice. Back door panels are nice. Dome light works. Visors are in great shape. Headliner all looks good. I don't see any holes there. It doesn't have that mousy smell in the car. It smells good in here. Just a nice, clean, original car. As we look over here at the door panel on the driver's side, and I'll point it out a little later, the driver's side door panel does have some little wrinkles in it. That should probably be replaced. It doesn't look bad, but it's not as tight as it should be. Door shuts well. No smoke out the tailpipe. So we talked about the passenger side having a good shine and being straight. Driver's side's just as nice. You look up and down the sides, it's got a good shine to it. If a guy wanted to, you could probably wet sand and buff the whole car, you know, down low. But then it'd look really nice, but it looks very presentable for a driver. No blisters behind that rear quarter. As we go up and over the rear quarter, that all looks really nice. No blisters here in front of the rear quarter. Same thing, we got those 4 little tiny little screws holding that those scoops in there. No blisters behind the door or on the lower part of the door there. There is a couple little ones, very small, up at the very front edge of the door. Front fender looks good, no blisters there. Gap looks good. The door handles are tarnished a little bit. I like that gap in the front between the door and the fender. That's a nice even gap there. We have a tiny little chip right there, and another little one right here on the body line. Other than that, the front fender looks good, door looks good. 2 very small chips, one right here in the door and one right there. Other than that, looks good. There's one on the quarter too, right there. Just little rock chips. They could easily be touched. Inner door jamb all looks good. Rocker looks good. Like I said, paint on the door jambs, not quite as nice as the paint on the car, but presentable. The steering wheel itself is beautiful. The horn ring is nice. As we go down here, body is 65A, color is X, trim is 2A, date is 22J, DSO is 33, axles 2, trans is W. Corner of the door is great. Rubbers are very pliable and nice. They appear to be original. Roof rail rubbers appear to be original. They're still good. Kind of also tells me that that's not 177,000 miles. As far as the armrest is good. It's a little loose also, just a little warpage there. Same thing with the door panel. I think they're 33 bucks, 40 bucks, something like that. Probably wouldn't hurt to replace it, but there's no rips or tears, just a little bit loose. Heater fan works well. It does have a remote mirror, and that's working. Wipers work. Radio is the original AM Ford radio. I've had it on here for a while. It definitely does not work. This is here is our fasten seatbelt light. It's missing that little plastic thing that goes around it, but that's what it is. That light was working earlier. Oil pressure gauge works, temp gauge works, alternator gauge works, speedometer works, and gas gauge works. We just replaced the sending unit, so. The engine seems to run nice and quiet. It's got its little wing windows for air conditioning. Car does not have power steering. A lot of my Mustangs right now that I have in inventory, I think I got like 4 of these 66 and 7s and 8s, and none of them have power steering. With the bigger steering wheels, they all steer pretty well and they're all pretty light. So speedometer works. Car goes down the road good. As far as our front end goes, brakes go, ride and drive, this is just a great little Mustang. There's our brakes, no hands on the wheel, no pull left or right. Transmission shifts nice. Shifted again into third, about 60. I mean, this thing cruises right down the road, 60, 70 mile an hour. If you want to go down the interstate, you're doing 65, 70 right now, and it's just cruising down the road. So what I like about this car is you look across the hood's not shaking. Just a nice tight car. Gaps are nice on it. Kick down works, going 65, you kick it down into second, the passing gear. Excellent car. I wouldn't be worried about flying in, driving this little Mustang 6-cylinder home.